We have built AMA as a platform for everyone.
We want you to run your own segment about your own area of interest on AMA. If you have a business, a talent, or an idea, AMA is ready to work with you.
This year, let us make AMA the biggest and the most influential media platform for Africans and for friends of Africans. So if you can, invite us to your community events.
We have built a platform for you and we want you to use it. You can run your own segments in any area of your interest as long as it brings value to the African Australians here in Australia.
Do you have ideas and talents you want everyone to see? African Media Australia is here for you. We're happy to promote those videos of yours. We're happy to promote your businesses. We're happy to promote those ideas that are inside of you.
AMA is for you.
Please contact us, African Media Australia. AMA is here for you and we're here to stay.
Yes, when people pass, you remember their life and celebrate their achievements in life, their contribution to the world. But when I think as an Eritrean of those people that were lost last week, they actually had no life. They lost their life in search for a life. They had no hope, no aspirations, no dreams, where everything around them was shattered. A merciless ruler, a merciless reality that they lived in. I'm sorry, it is a fact. They left a country that made their life hell. In such circumstances, we have to really be honest with ourselves of that reason and let the world know that those who left their countries leaving for reasons that are beyond understanding. I'm just getting a bit lost here on what to say, but the stories that you hear over the last week of the way the lives were lost, when you see a mother losing her child in front of her eyes, the kind of youth that were lost last week. As we know so far, the facts that there were over 500 people on that boat in Lampadusa. We know from the number of survived, the names and the background of those who survived. Out of these people that lost last week, the median age was 22. The youngest being a 7-month unborn child. A mother gave birth while battling the waves.
Assalamu alaikum. Am I there? Good afternoon. Well, this is today to get together and give our griefs, sharing the sad news that we have gone through the week. It's a time of reflection we see together. And the members of our community who have lost their loved one. It is not who they are, it's the way they are treated. It's where they die, it's not a question, it's how they die. Their plea was not heard. And we said, as a community, it is time to give everyone a reflection. And I am sure we as a community have a great responsibility to reflect, feeling the sad, the agony of our people back home, anywhere in the world. And this story is today to us and tomorrow for many. If we don't start uniting, we're not united to share such sad thoughts. When can we unite? When can we work together? And we've got some dignitaries here that I would like to acknowledge, sharing our grief and this grief should not be staying here. We've got people that will take this message beyond this today. We've got the invited age. Hopefully they will put an article by Tuesday, Wednesday. We've got the local media, which they said they will put an article by sometime this week. And we've got African media right here and some other media that will share our video, share it to the world. First, I'd like to acknowledge the Honorable Adam Bank, member of Federal, member of the Prince, and Federal member of Melbourne, and elected Senator Janet Rice, good friends of our community here with us, and they're prepared to help and take this sad afternoon to reflect, not only just here in this closed room, but beyond here in this message to be heard. And also like to acknowledge Kamala Kerr, well-known refugee advocate in Australia, in Asia Pacific, covering communities that are in Melbourne, covering Scientology, Aloha Janet, and Scientology Loana, covering Ahawat Andikat, Abeki Mashpilana, Ahawat Naman Taxis, Zulu Halana, Nai Sudan Community to Hausa Lizzie Hazan Halal Pena, Muzika out Nai media coverage, the African media, Hawat Light, Sharayna Lutsana, Active Media House, Forum Muhammad Murai, Nai Media, Social Democrats, Filter Bill, Zibnak Nabatu, Halal, Allah Shahabu, Asibu Sinan, Lizzie Nai Hawaii.
Thank you very much for inviting me here to join you this evening. We want you also to know that we are here at your disposal in this time. If there's anything that any of our officers can do, even if it's just providing a place to meet, if there's any phone calls that we can make or anyone that we can get in touch with, or anything that we can do with the government here or the government elsewhere, then we are here for you for that. But lastly, I want you to know that we will make sure that this event is not forgotten and that there's people's lives involved.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me here today and having the opportunity to join with you to be grieving and mourning and really bringing home the reality of the injustices in the world and how we need to be all working together to be trying to be improving justice and trying to be making it for the world. It's so easy for issues, refugee issues, injustice, people suffering, cruelty, awful regimes, to just end up being not thought about and to be put aside, and people don't want to think about them. And to be here today with you, it's really bringing home that the reality, the human tragedy, the human cost, and the connection we all have with all the things that are happening in the world. And we do need to think about them. We do need to mourn. We do need to grieve. I know that with the election of our new government, it's going to be very hard for us to be we're going to be feeling despondent, we're going to be feeling depressed that we're not going to be able to be making much progress over the next 3 years. But I know that the power of the community and us all working together, that we can be an incredibly strong voice, to be really sort of working hard and working together to be trying to be creating a peaceful and just world where everyone is treated well, everyone has got the opportunity to live happy, healthy, productive lives, and together we can keep working for that. So thank you once again.
These things should not be allowed to happen, and that's why we have to come together and acknowledge when people die. We have to grieve and mourn, but we also have to demand of our political leaders a higher standard of human rights. It is little known because our present Australian government is hiding the figures, but between January and June this year, 800 people from African countries came on boats to Australia. Some of those people are Eritrean. We do not know the numbers because they're hiding them. There are Eritrean asylum seekers down the road in Broadmeadows, just a few. There are possibly Eritrean asylum seekers on Nauru. The Eritrean people are a resilient, strong people. We know for you to get here, you have had to fight your way, and you're supporting your families and educating your children and building a life in this country. And people will know about you and they will respect you. One thing we must do is stand up for those people who are still coming and make sure that they have the same opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you for having me here with you today, and I'm sorry this is such a sad occasion. But I'm glad to be here with my friends Janet and Pamela and Adam to recognise with you what it is that has happened with this terrible tragedy. But of course we know, even as we are sitting here, there are other tragedies unfolding. At the moment there are tens of millions of people around this planet of ours who've left their homes, not because they wanted to, but they were forced to. And unlike my friends here who were lucky enough to be born here in Australia, really like winning a lottery ticket to be born in Australia, those people are only doing what they must to get for themselves a safe life. Now, it was only about, I think, a year ago, I was flying to Indonesia on an aeroplane. I was flying to Thailand, across Indonesia for my sister's wedding. And there I was in an aeroplane, very comfortable, looking down at the ocean below me and thinking that there would be people coming the other direction on a boat, putting their lives in danger while I was going the other way simply for a visit, for a bit of fun to visit my family. It is something that should be in our minds every single day for every one of us here in Australia. And thank you again for having me as part of your commemoration.
Good evening everyone, and I didn't know that I was going to be asked to say something, so I haven't really thought about it. I really just wanted to come and stand in solidarity with you today and to acknowledge the pain and the grief that you are experiencing. And I suppose as I was reflecting on this driving over here, I've been thinking about what a huge tragedy it is and what a scandal, but I suppose today I just wanted to acknowledge the very personal grief that it is for you, and to acknowledge that and to offer you my deepest sympathy. Jesuit Social Services, its sister or brother organisation, Jesuit Refugee Service, and I know that some of you are aware of Jesuit Refugee Service, keep us informed of what's happening around the world, the movement of millions and millions of people and the risks that people take. But I suppose today I feel the desire, I suppose, to say that I believe in the goodness of people. It's easy at a moment like this for us to feel just the absolute weight of despair, but I believe in the goodness of people. I think that, and others have said it before me, it's because we hide information, we make others the other, we demonise people, that these things can happen. So I suppose for myself I have to come back to believing in the goodness of people and what we can do together.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. اللهم ارحمه واغفر له انه خيرة قرضة والطريق شديد. اللهم ارحمه واغفر له ونواسي اهله والشعب كله. هو خلال احداث بعد تيجي مباشرة كان هذا العام احصائية للإريتريين هاجروا بتقول من بي بي سي 30,000 وصل للقاعدة. من 30,000 فيهم 7,500 إرث. ما يعادلهم 7,500 من سوريا، بمعنى أكثر بلد فيها مشكلة.
First of all, my name is Baha. I'm from the Eritrean Community, and we are here to say that we feel your pain, and we are here to share your grief. It's a tragedy to see how so many people, innocent people, children and women, die without any good reason. In this day and age, people should not die. People should not take a boat that's leaking water and go in the middle of the sea or ocean without any navigation equipment and just take their chances to seek a better life. In this day and age, we should feel for these people, and we can do a lot. One day a wise man told me that advanced nations can be measured by how much that they look after the weak, the disabled people, children, and people who cannot stand for themselves. That's how advanced nations are measured. And I believe that, okay, we are here to have the opportunity to do a lot for these people. So please don't feel sorry for yourself and just say like, what can we do? I think you can do a lot. A pen, use your pen. Write a newspaper, use your mobile phone. Everyone here, okay, has got a mobile phone, Twitter, YouTube. Deliver your message. I know someone who has got a guitar and a very good voice. The other day delivered a fantastic message. Every one of us, okay, has got something to offer. So please contribute and don't let them like, these people die for nothing. At least, okay, if every one of us deliver this message to the people that we know, the people that we work with, we can change this world. And I have to agree, okay, with one of the previous speakers, that Libya is not a good place, okay, for refugees. Actually, it hasn't been a good place for the Libyans for the last 42 years. I can assure you that we are trying really hard, okay, to change. We are trying to figure out, okay, how we can implement democracy. What people here take for granted, okay, you just get born, okay, in a country that runs democracy, okay, since day one. We have never experienced democracy, so we are trying to figure out, okay, our ways, and I can assure you that we will change, and we will try our best to stop such a tragedy. Thank you.
Just to say 2 sentences. When I was leaving my country, I left it because of what happened to my family. The country was run by a dictator. That dictator was supported militarily, economically, socially, politically, not by Africans, but others, particularly the West. I believe the guy who's ruling Eritrea now in this fashion get support from many different countries in the world, particularly the West. And I think it's our responsibility to attempt to address that issue and make sure that this kind of tragedy will not continue, that the young Eritrean is able or can stay in his country without any fear or coercion. Unless and until we secure that, and we secure from everywhere, particularly Australia, who is now a member of the Security Council, to push them to address that issue and make sure that this guy is accountable to what's happening to the Eritrean people, whether they are young, old, or middle-aged.
Good evening, everyone. I am a 24-year-old Eritrean refugee going to stay in Australia on visa. I am here to say a few words as we all mourn the death of over 300 souls in Lampadusa. I could have been one of them had it disabled to try the
Hello, thank you for inviting us here today. I'm Jan Lester from the Church of Scientology, and also Pam Frank is here from the church as well. We do a lot of work with the African communities. We have a homework club on Saturday mornings, and we see you all as our very dear friends. And I would like to pass on our sympathy to you, and to let you know that we also share this loss, because we believe that we are all as one, whatever faith, whatever culture, whatever creed. And I thought I've been listening and to everything that everyone has said, and these beautiful people who died, 300 people who died, let's not have that they died in vain. There is something that we can do. It is something that we can do together. In 1948, 65 years ago, the United Nations released the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. 65 years ago, after the atrocities that happened in the Second World War, this piece of paper, 30 human rights, the first one being we are all born free and equal, and another that we all have the right to life, we all have the right to freedom, and we all have the right to security. These words are just mere words on a piece of paper. In some countries they have put this in as their constitution. We can do something. We can educate people on these human rights, and we can unite and say, this is not okay. This is not okay that people have to flee their countries. It's not about that they died on the way. Of course, this is a tragedy.
We are an African community which is really looking for help from our friends from the Australian communities, especially those who are in the upper house and the lower house, in the federal parliament. And we can only help our people if we are able to exercise some pressure on the dictatorship in Eritrea and in Sudan. Unfortunately, now Australia is chairing the UN Security Council. So if we can communicate something to the Foreign Affairs Minister and to the head of the United Nations Security Council to put some pressures.
Hi, I'm just here as an individual to express my sadness and sorrow about what has happened. What happened last week was a reminder for every one of us about the desperate situation people are living in. And also it's a reminder for every one of us, because we have been through that process. A lot of us have been through that process. We experienced near-death experience, all of us. So I just would like to send my condolences to the family and the community. But also I just would like to use this opportunity for all of us to sit down and reflect about what has happened and what we can do as individuals, what we can do for this to prevent this tragedy to happen again. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I just want to ask the questions that are essential questions. Why is this happening? If you want to change something, if you have a problem, you just look at the cause of the problem to solve it. All of us Eritreans, we understand where the cause of this problem is. Forced military conscription. This is killing the spirit, killing the ambition, killing the freedom of life, and the thinking for a better life in your own life, in your own home.
This is the reality. And through its officials, the Eritrean regime, so many times they claimed that those who leave the country, they are chasing iPads and iPhones. This is documented stuff. this is the kind of regime that shows how it treats its own people. I'd like to call all of you to stand up for 1 minute silence to remember those who died last week and those who lost their lives in the Mediterranean Sea, in their thousands, and those who are victims of human trafficking and organ trafficking in Sinai, and those refugees who are being ignored by UNHCR in Ethiopia, in Sudan, in many parts of the world. Please, let's pay 1 minute silence, a moment silence to those victims.